Okay, so this is going to be an analysis of MundaneMatt, and to do this we're going to be going through a timeline of events which I feel perfectly capture the type of living shithouse that MundaneMatt is. A little bit of background. MundaneMatt was relevant and actually well liked for a couple of weeks, I'll be generous, around the time of Gamergate, but since then he's desperately tried to cling on to that 15 minutes of quote-unquote fame at the expense of all his dignity, pride, humanity. We're going to start at a point where MundaneMatt wasn't showing his face. Instead, he was represented by a skull avatar. And I was one of the many people who thought MundaneMatt to be a young fellow at university just snarking at the world around him. How wrong we all were when we saw the overweight 35-year-old Soy King himself. Anyway, we start with this channel trailer.
Hey everyone, my name is MundaneMatt, and thank you very much for taking the time to check out my channel. I understand you're new here, and you're probably not too sure what it is exactly that I do.
Don't worry, you won't come away with a better understanding of what MundaneMatt stands for, what he's about. No, because MundaneMatt is a vacuum where a personality should be. This is a man who has absolutely no charisma, yet in his mind, he thinks he's the life of the party.
You might have heard about me on Jezebel, where they call me a misogynist, although that's simply not true. You might have heard about me on 4chan, where apparently they refer to me as one of the most red-pilled motherfuckers around.
Nobody, ever, let alone on 4chan, has ever called MundaneMatt red-pilled. But the barefaced lie he presents here betrays his lack of self-awareness.
Or, of course, my name floats around Twitter and Facebook and Tumblr. In fact, if you Google it, you're going to find a wide variety of websites talking about me in a multitude of fashions. Some good, some bad, and some in between.
Again, another barefaced lie. Nobody talks about MundaneMatt. The very fact that MundaneMatt is a subject on Godwinson says it all. But good lord, he's attempting to talk himself up into something more relevant than he actually is, and be in no doubt, this isn't just a sales pitch to us, the audience. This is also an attempt to convince himself of his own pathetic glory.
But all of that shouldn't matter. What should matter is taking a look at the, well, I should say over 1,000 videos currently on my channel that range from video games, movies, politics, feminism, religion, world events, pop culture, you name it, I will probably talk about it.
All of those videos, all of those subjects, and not a single ounce of insightful thought offered on any of them. MundaneMatt is the definition of a rent-a-gob. Somebody who will say the blandest, most inoffensive comments in order to make himself seem like a great authority on the world around him, but also to garner the maximum amount of ad revenue as well. He's not going to say anything even remotely deviant, because then he'll get demonetized, and we wouldn't want that now, would we, MundaneMatt?
Here's a great thing about my channel, though. I upload content daily, sometimes multiple times a day.
In other words, it's a constant barrage of clickbaity shite for maximum pennies.
Then be sure to click that red subscribe button, and because we're on the subject, turn off that pesky ad block.
That line, turn off that pesky ad block, got turned into a very potent meme because it managed to fully encapsulate the essence of MundaneMatt. He's not in this game because he's intelligent or wants to entertain or wants to make people laugh. He's here because he wants your money. As much as he can grab, to the point where he'll beg you not to use adblock in case he doesn't rake in 3 pence from your viewership.
Hi everyone, my name is MundaneMatt.
Okay, so now we join MundaneMatt a few years on, and between now and then, he's been doxxed and he's been forced to reveal his face. Funny coincidence, the moment he revealed his face, his views went down the toilet. I wonder why that is. Anyway, we join MundaneMatt at the moment in his life when he was swatted.
Hi everyone, my name is MundaneMatt. And I was just swatted. Yeah, not making that up. I wish I was. I was recording a video at the time. Unfortunately, I had fucked up and not hit record on the webcam. So all the camera footage of them coming into the apartment is gone.
Couple of things. The swatting is clearly a dick move. It's not okay. But secondly, how many times has MundaneMatt spoken? His bland, unexciting commentary into his webcam. And how many times has he forgotten to click record? I bet it's more than once. I bet there are a few 20, 30-minute videos out there that just evaporated into the ether. Hours of MundaneMatt's life just pissed away.
But it just happened, I swear to God. Like, I swear to God. I swear to God it fucking happened.
He keeps repeating himself. He's really doing his best to convince us that the swatting actually took place, and it did take place. Give him that. But what gets me is MundaneMatt's insistence. Because the rest of him is so fake that when something real happens, he doesn't think anyone can believe him.
There was a pounding at my window. I thought at first it was neighbor kids messing with me. I thought at first it was someone just hearing me talk as they were walking by and then pounding on the glass.
It really tickles me that the neighbour's children bully MundaneMatt so much that when he's actually being swatted, he automatically jumps to the conclusion that them pesky kids are behind it.
I got up and I went over to the door. I opened it up. I said, hello. And they said, we need you to come out. And I was like, are you talking to me? And they said, yes. And they were like, Beaverton PD. And I put my hands up and I have a little alcove, I guess you could say, little overhang, whatever, by my door, so I can't see down the hall.
His retelling of this high-octane event is really something to behold, isn't it? I don't know if it's the lack of charisma or eloquence, or whether it's because he subsists on a diet of absolute soy, but he just bores the shit out of me.
And as I turned, there was a SWAT officer, or an officer in complete SWAT gear, with his gun, trained at me. Like, I don't think it was pointed directly at me, but it was definitely pointed in my general direction. If there was one behind me, I have no idea. I immediately shut down. I've never been more afraid in my entire life. I'm not making that up. I'm not lying. It was a shock. I immediately got to my knees. I had my hands up. I was quivering.
I can picture it. Quivering. That's the word. That's what he is. A quivering twat called Matt. Anyway, so the Gamergate days are behind him. He's been doxxed. He's been swatted. But instead of stopping, instead of waking up, instead of getting a real job and taking a good hard look at himself in the mirror and realising he's got no personality, MundaneMatt decides to record another channel trailer. This one somehow manages to be worse than the one at the start of this video. And before we jump in, I just want you to pay attention to how manufactured this all is.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the MundaneMatt channel.
Fuck me. How much soy can one man possibly become?
I'd like to thank you so much for checking out this trailer. Now, if you're unsure about why you should subscribe to the channel, I'm going to fill you in. I'm going to give you a pitch. I'm going to tell you what I do.
This really does anger me. There's no irony here. MundaneMatt's not doing this in a humorous, tongue-in-cheek manner. Instead, he's desperately trying to convince the world that he has a personality and isn't just a golem of soy.
I'm a full-time YouTube news commentator. My job is to head out there into the wilds of the internet to pluck the most interesting, newsworthy stories of the day and talk about them. And they're not all just one subject. I do what I like to call a scattershot of news.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you, you worthless cunt. Going into the wilds of the internet. Does he put that on his fucking CV? Scattershot of news. I wonder how many times he's rehearsed that in front of his wife's son.
And that's why I love doing what I get to do. I get to go out there and help you kick some serious butt when you're talking to your friends about what's going on in the world. You know how it is. You're playing a game, you're talking to your family, you're at your, a coworker's house or whatever, and all of a sudden some story comes up and they tell you something that is not, accurate. You're like, I know the truth about this. I learned about this from some guy named MundaneMatt.
I'll tell you this now. If I'm ever in a conversation with anyone, and they use MundaneMatt as a legitimate source, which would never happen, by the way, but if it did, I'd do my best to get them sectioned. I'd do my best, my utmost, to put them in an institution. It's such a window into how he sees himself. He thinks people are fucking quoting him on the street. Get a grip, MundaneMatt. Now we're going to turn our attentions to the final piece of this really crap puzzle that is MundaneMatt. It's the video where he cries about receiving a silver play button from YouTube.
Right now, there's a letter. There's a letter here. Let's see what it says. It's from YouTube, officially. You've just done something very few YouTube creators accomplish. You had an astonishing 100,000 people subscribe to your channel. We know numbers on YouTube can get really big, but we hope you didn't lose sight of the reality behind that 6-digit milestone. Each and every person who subscribed to your channel was touched by what you did.
It's disgusting, this. It really is. Desperately trying to squeeze out tears, and you know what? I'm not even sure that he's being fake. I think MundaneMatt is constantly looking for validation. Don't know where that malaise comes from, but I'll speculate that his dad either wasn't around or never gave him enough words of encouragement, and now he's on the wrong side of 35 crying over a generic copy-pasta letter from YouTube.
They were inspired or challenged. Sorry.
I suppose this is the end point of someone who exists to be the blandest, most advertiser-friendly person alive, that they personalise these generic compliments that in no way address the nuances of their character. But because MundaneMatt has no soul, the only thing that drives him is views and pennies.
You made it to this milestone with hard work, perseverance. I don't know. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I did this. Okay.
When the sum of your life's work is a silver play button from a faceless multinational corporation, when that's the pinnacle of your achievement, then you really have forgotten what it means to be human. Not only does MundaneMatt lack self-awareness and perspective, he also lacks sentience.
You've made it to this milestone with hard work, perseverance, and chances are a healthy sense of humor. What you've accomplished can't be taken away from you. And we'd like to recognize you and all your hard work with the silver play button. A small token of our esteem and respect.
You know, words at this point, they fail me. I feel that over the course of this, I've become acquainted with someone who I genuinely have come to despise. If I saw MundaneMatt on fire, I wouldn't even piss on him. He's so artificial. He's faker than fake. He's Super Saiyan 3. What can I say other than MundaneMatt can suck a dick?